Welcome to the behind the scenes of my first ever short film. Over the past year, I've learned about 3D animation, lighting, and filmmaking to create an extraordinary 3D animation and film. If you want to check out the full film, it's listed in the description, as well as my Instagram art page for more behind the scenes. But for now, let's jump into the challenges, successes, and overall process of how this remarkable HSC visual arts major work was brought to life. I saved so many Pinterest posts for this work. I knew I wanted to make a film about coffee coming to life. What sort of character, world, plot, style, textures, lighting, camera, timing, and everything, really. I didn't really know where I was going. That's where Pinterest came in. I knew from the get-go that reference was going to be the biggest lifesaver for every part of this film. It started out pretty rough, just getting an idea for what sort of style or themes I wanted to explore. For a while, I was bouncing around a Ghibli or photorealistic style. Shout out to Spirited Away and Princess Mononoke, two films which I absolutely fell in love with through the course of this. The character was first up. Working title Coffee Man, I wanted to make him out of things and bits to do with coffee. I tried things like chocolate flakes, whipped cream, marshmallows, chocolate drizzle, and while it all looks pretty good, too much was too much. As to the rest of the character design, capes were pretty quickly out of the question. Scarves and bags were forsaken pretty soon after. Another obstacle was making it magical and playful, while still fitting in with that photorealistic world. From long and careful study of coffee, I used texture nodes to create a foam texture and chocolate chip flakes, as well as downloaded eye assets to test out giving it an actual face. I settled on an outline for the head and hands to keep the silhouette clear, and then later, after talking to my teachers, I made it lighter. The cafe scene was pretty easy to build. Big square blocks stacked on top of each other. Along with making my own objects, I downloaded assets from Quixel Megascans, Free3D, Sketchfab, and some of the others. Everything will be in the description. During this first scene, I really wanted to experiment with Blender. I tested liquid simulations, animations, and faking simulations with displacement maps. Mistakes were definitely made, but overall I think it turned out pretty well. This scene took me so long to get right. I tried in 2 separate files before ending on this one, to make a scene that looked sort of maybe like Sydney, until I settled on reference for Park Street. Like the cafe, assets came from TurboSquid and Quixel Megascans, and I animated the cars with super basic keyframing. The characters were animated with Mixamo animations, as well as independent characters and animations from me. The floating flowers were made using wind simulations with force fields. Using this method makes the animation look more natural than manual animation, and sometimes it takes less time as well. But it was also super tough on my laptop, so I didn't use it everywhere. The bonsai picking was an idea from super early on. The film is about everyday forms of art, and so I thought that the art of bonsai would integrate really well. The tree was crafted using the skin modifier and then a particle system with weight painting to attach the leaves. The gallery scene was covered in 5 different particle systems, for grass and ferns, etc. It was getting to the pointy end of the major work, so I had to cut some corners. The background was really just an HDRI and a few image planes to fake a background. The kites were made with another particle system, with the assets coming from my own hands, and again downloaded from the internet. Oh, also the clouds came straight from Disney's free volume asset pack. I'll leave a link in the description. The art gallery itself was constructed using reference from Google Maps and their online site. I traced out the pillars and form using back shapes. Textures were just mapped onto the building using UV maps, and from there it was just playing with lighting. So there it is, my 2023 HSC Visual Arts major work. If you haven't seen it yet, be sure to check it out and subscribe with notifications to be updated about future projects. For more regular looks at my work, follow my Instagram page.